Thunderstorms are forecast for some parts of the country, and we have a couple of watches to tell you about. Severe thunderstorm watch for regions of eastern Ontario, all due to a frontal system heading through there. And in western portions of the country, a severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for the eastern interior of British Columbia. That's due to a trough that's heading its way across the Rockies and moving to the east. And with those watches, there is the potential of seeing some severe thunderstorms. Also, hail is a possibility, damaging winds, and some pretty heavy rainfall. So let's have a look at the systems causing all of that and other conditions from coast to coast. The Across Canada segment is What's Next, and here's Marlene with current conditions.
Thanks very much. The cloud cover remains over Atlantic Canada, still bringing some showers throughout Newfoundland, and you can see just right about there. There is some thunderstorm activity still happening throughout New Brunswick, mainly north of Grand Falls. Things are starting to clear out very slowly throughout southern Quebec. There were thunderstorms a little bit earlier on in the Montreal area, but they're pretty much over with. Southern Ontario dealing with mainly cloudy skies. There is a risk of a thunder shower or two, as well as eastern Ontario. Ottawa, Peterborough still seeing some showers. Ottawa mainly cloudy. Renfrew also too some cloud cover there, but there is a risk of some thunderstorms. As you can see the bright red color right about here, thunderstorms still happening in Brandon, some showers for Winnipeg. Also too throughout southern Saskatchewan as well as parts of Alberta, definitely dealing with some shower activity at this time, and of course there is a chance of some thunderstorms. Low pressure system with a cold front attached to it is bringing some active weather not only throughout Newfoundland, the Maritime provinces, but also throughout Quebec as well as into Ontario. A low pressure system right here over the Dakotas is just stretching past the international border, so that is causing some active weather throughout Manitoba as well as Saskatchewan. And of course there is some active weather in British Columbia to tell you about, but first we're going to take a closer look at Atlantic Canada. All the bright white cloud around St. John's, that is where the shower activity is happening, and all the bright white cloud, this is where the active weather is happening as well throughout New Brunswick. Thunderstorms north of Grand Falls, they are still continuing. A closer look at the radar shot here, you can see the orange color. Some thunderstorms definitely firing up and continuing throughout New Brunswick. As we head to Montreal, the thunder showers were happening. They've stopped pretty much for now. Some light shower activity still going on here and there, but the thunder showers are very sporadic. They're pretty much over and done with. The Ottawa Valley, though, in Ottawa, definitely starting to deal with some shower activity, some thunderstorms on the way. Ottawa mainly cloudy at this time. As you can see, Winnipeg, some active weather happening there because of all the bright white cloud, as well as in parts of southern Saskatchewan.
In eastern portions of the country, the Atlantic region to be specific, the Maritimes experienced one of the driest Julys ever. Hot, humid air crept in as the jet stream stayed its way well to the north, and that made it feel a lot hotter than it actually was. The forecast for August is normal rainfall amounts of at least 100 millimeters for the month, and it's desperately needed. Hot, dry conditions throughout that region, making for drought conditions, and as a result, agricultural crops are certainly suffering. We'll have more on that coming up in Earthwatch News.
Here you can see some bright orange color starting to move towards Moncton and Fredericton, so some thunderstorms definitely on the way for you if you are watching us, and hopefully you are. Now for Montreal, you can see the cloud cover starting to clear out. The showers and thunderstorm activity is pretty much done, but some active weather definitely on the way for eastern Ontario.
Thunder shower activity in the Kootenays and also the Alberta foothills, mainly west of Calgary and Edmonton, and it's pushing moisture up. So the showers to rain actually for the north coast will continue, and we have this very strong system that is across Montana, North Dakota, into central Minnesota. As a matter of fact, they have a tornado warning in effect for areas from northeastern North Dakota all the way across into central Minnesota, and there have been a couple of tornadoes spotted just north of Grand Forks, and I think both of the spottings were in North Dakota. But even, as I say, Minnesota under a tornado warning. Now that's also spreading some strong thunderstorm cells north of the border, southeastern Saskatchewan across into southern Manitoba, closer to the border around Pembina, Morden, etc., south of Brandon and Winnipeg. Let's take a close-up look at the clouds across BC and Alberta. We have some showers also expected in the Edmonton area as this moisture is being pushed to the north. Again, it's this cold low off the coast circulating counterclockwise, and so it's spreading most of that moisture to the north, trough attached to it, and that is bringing those clouds and the instability into Alberta. And then in North Dakota and Minnesota, there it is. That is the very strong system, and some thunderstorms spreading across the border. As you can see, these are starting to weaken, however, as the evening cools. cools the air, but you can see there's still some strong, in fact, tornadoes happening across into North Dakota. There's the cold front continuing to sink down. We still have some showers south of Montreal. North of that, we've had some strong thunderstorms in southern Manitoba and a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for a little while yet from Cypress Hills across to Assiniboia, so south of Regina. And the activity in Manitoba has also been south of Winnipeg and south of Brandon. But when you live in the prairies with a big sky, you can see the thunderstorms. They always look a lot closer than they actually are. But this is all quieting down as the evening cools, and you can see that even the cells where the tornadoes were are starting to calm down as well, but those are still strong thunderstorms in North Dakota and across into Minnesota. And in the eastern part of the country, this is the cold front that continues to slice across, and northerly winds behind it. We continue to have a little bit of thunderstorm activity to the south of Montreal as a result of that.